Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. The title sponsor of Manny Talks Shooting is Go Fast Don't Suck. So if you need match banners for your match, check them out. They also have an awesome selection of pre-designed and customizable jerseys. Don't forget, they are the home of the dry fire decals for your walls, so get those too. They've also got a plethora of patches and stickers that are hilarious and true. You know, Go Fast Don't Suck has a lot of things that you'll need on the range and off, so please check them out at gofastdon'tsuck.net. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Manny Talks Shooting, the shooting podcast, because I said so. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because I said so, it's Manny Talks Shooting. Without further ado, we're going to talk to a man who's a cop, not a cop. It's Mr. Jared Stepp.
Great.
How you doing, Jared?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a good start to the year so far, and the stress of work it's been good. So we'll see what happens.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it is mid-February if anyone actually cares when this is actually getting recorded. But yes, it'll be a good time. If anyone, you're going to get to know people. You're going to get to know Mr. Jared Stepp a little bit in this episode. If you're anything into the shooting sports, you will know Mr. Jared is a common co-host on the Paracast, who just reached over 401 episodes. Them crazy bastards.
They've been doing it for a long time, and I've been helping just for a little bit.
Yep. So we'll get to know more about Jared and all the cool things that he's involved with him, his shooting, his matches, and his training company, the whole big nine shebang. It's going to be awesome. So Jared, for the people who don't know you, who are you and how'd you get into shooting?
Well, first off, my name's Jared. My day job is I'm a police officer for one of the largest agencies here in Utah. I have always been interested in shooting ever since I was a kid. Always been playing with guns, always been playing with airsoft. Then I went from airsoft to paintball. And then once I became of age and was able to buy a gun, my very first gun ever was actually a 1938 M38 Mosin Nagant, the carbine model. It was a short barrel. Got it for like $80. My school, they gave the high school seniors a award if you were in the top 10%, and they gave us a free printer. So being the enterprising American I took that free printer, went to Walmart, returned it for a gift card, got a $100 gift card from Walmart, traded that to my dad for cash, and went and bought a gun. So that was the first gun I ever got. I was 18, and it was a Mosin Nagant, and it was a blast. I've been in love ever since. And once I got old enough to buy handguns, jumped into that world. And about, I'd say 10 years ago, I started getting into competitive shooting, started these local small matches, and just started going, and started taking lots of training classes for work, just on my own, trying to get better. Really had a drive to try to improve myself. And then from there, started getting into USPSA. And the big change was I got put in charge of the Utah Peace Officer Association handgun matches and 3-gun matches at the time, which is a local competition that basically it's catered for law enforcement, and it's just to get cops out and train. Because our whole trick and that whole deal is basically we're trying to trick cops to actually learn how to shoot and learn that they don't know everything, learn that they aren't that great. But we want to trick them into getting into the shooting sports and then getting some actual real world practice and get some real world skills. And that's basically where everything kind of took off a lot. Since then, that was about when I took over the matches, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Since then, it's grown into the largest police officer match in the entire nation. And actually, it's the largest match in Utah right now. We have It's a sold out match currently. We have 270 shooters signed up for April, and that's for the main cop match. And then we have the not a cop match, which is the following weekend, April 20th. And 420 is obviously the best day to have the not a cop match, right? And that is April 20th, and that has about 80 shooters, I think, signed up right now. And so if that keeps on going up, I mean, I just did the shirt order for the match, and I think I ordered about 400 shirts. So it's turned into quite the thing. We have like I said, largest match in Utah. Actually, it's bigger than the state USPSA match, bigger as Barry's, the Steel Open. Like it's turned into a very large effort, and I run the whole thing now. We've actually lost our the name sponsor, the title sponsor. And so now it's just the Utah law enforcement match, and it's sponsored by me because I run everything. I do all the sponsor stuff. I do all the stage designs. I do every single thing for the match, and it's an absolute blast, but it also is an absolute hell. And it's nice in some ways that it's all sold out because I can get a bunch of stuff that I normally have to wait until March or early April. Mm-hmm. Now I can I've already started planning it. I was talking with the shirt guy earlier today, and I got to get all the logos for the companies that donate. And it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of fun. It's really busy. And then also I've started helping out on the Paracast, and I fill in every once in a while, but I've kind of turned into a regular co-host there. So it's a good time.
They just haven't told Kenny Terry that he's gone.
Kenny, we love Kenny to death, and Kenny is one of the absolute fantastic person to have on the show. But Kenny is just, he changed his job around a little bit, so that affected his schedule, and that's why, and now he's kind of lost some interest in the shooting sports. And so he doesn't shoot as much as he used to. Because there's a while there where I would easily say Kenny was probably in the top 10 shooters in all unlimited in the entire United States. And so Kenny was right there. And he's an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely a good guy to chit chat. And it's always kind of nice to listen to his perspective on the show as well, because it is somewhat different than, the other talk. So it's kind of cool because, he also does like his Seymour red dots, which are pretty good red dots.
They're great. I had a Seymour for a while on my Phoenix Trinity honcho, and I had no issues at all with it.
Do you still have that honcho?
I sold it, actually. I liked it a lot. It was a great gun, but I had a friend who said, this is one of my problems. I love guns, but if I'm not actively using it, I sell it instantly. And a lot of the times I have a gun, and then somebody will text me and be like, hey, I saw that gun that you had. I really like that. Do you know where I could get a similar gun? And I'll be like, right here, buy from me. What do you want? Mm-hmm. And so I like buying guns, using them for a little bit, kind of seeing how they work, learning them, and then I get rid of them and just basically I'm paying a little money to rent them essentially, and then I give them to a new owner and slowly build up the knowledge base. So I've owned, I don't even know how many 2011s, and I've shot, I don't know how many, but currently my main gun I shoot is for work. I have a Glock 17, just a basic bitch, 17 with an RMR and a Surefire on it. And so I shoot that, carry optics sometimes, but most of the time I like to shoot my 2011, and that's a Warwick Tactical. It's a smaller company. They, from what I understand, he was a guy who used to work for Nighthawk Custom, and then he branched away from them, teamed up with a machinist, and kind of they're all making their own parts. But Warwick Tactical, they make really, really kick-ass 2011s. I bought 2 of them, and I've shot the shit out of this one. I've had it for probably 7 or 8 years, and I probably got, honestly, 80,000 rounds for this thing. Mm-hmm. It's a great gun.
Well, that's pretty awesome. That is cool. It's a lot to debunk. That oh my lord, where might I want to go crack at this? But it's gonna be good. But Yeah, I know a couple people who did own honchos for a while. The problem is for them, they just had to keep them extremely, extremely, extremely soaking wet. Like
That was one of the things. If you don't keep that locking block just sopping wet, it can cause some issues. And so I actually was really sad because I sold the gun and it was working perfectly. Like I didn't have any issues with it at all. It was a fantastic gun. I loved it. But what happened was I had a company that was making 9 major ammo for me, and it was a very, very good deal. So I felt like I could do that because I really don't want to reload 9 major. I don't want to play with that. I don't want to play, oh, this brass might be new. It might be old. It might be one shot or it might blow up. I don't know. Let's find out. So I didn't really want to do that game. I didn't want to do the 38 Super Comp game. And so this one company I knew, they said they'd load me 9 major for dirt cheap, and it was all brand new brass, so I thought it was great. But then COVID happened, and they ran out of brass, they ran out of bullets, they ran out of everything, and they couldn't make me any more ammo. So I said, well, if I don't have a source of 9 major, I can't keep this gun. So I sold it when I got the chance, and I've been shooting limited optics ever since. It's been great.
nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, you mentioned, you're from the largest police agency in Utah. Did you go right out of high school into being a law enforcement? Did you go to college?
No. So I actually went to college. I got a 4-year degree. My plan, actually, I wanted to go work for the State Department. I got a bachelor's degree in Latin American studies, and that was the goal. I wanted to work for the State Department, but they weren't really hiring anybody at that time. They were doing the whole classic, hey, you need at least 5 years of experience, but there are no entry-level jobs. Ha ha ha, that's great. So I tried applying and tried getting in with the State Department, but didn't have any luck there. I was working at the time as a loss prevention security guard at my college, and that was a ton of fun. And I ended up I really enjoyed it. I liked the craziness of the job. I liked that every single day it was something different. I liked the challenge of it. I liked the verbal sparring that we would get into with these individuals who were stealing. And it was a very interesting and challenging job, because if someone didn't know what to do, they would call us. If it was an employee, it was a store issue. And so it was always entertaining. It was different. And so that attracted me, because all those things apply to law enforcement as well. And I put myself through the academy, because that's how Utah works, and got a job with a Utah county agency. Was there for 3 years. Didn't like it, because it was very much a small business that was being turned into a big business, but they were entirely unprepared for that. And there was a lot of growing pains going on, and it was just a disaster. So I left there and got with a much bigger agency that was a lot more, basically they had their shit together. And I haven't looked back. It was an absolute great move, better pay, better everything. And now I've been there for about 6 years now. And I'm on the SWAT team. I'm the captain of our shooting team. I do a lot of extra stuff. I'm one of the lead firearms for our agency, also for the state. And so it's a lead firearms instructors. And so it's just a lot of fun. I've really gotten deep into the gun culture here. And with the cop match, it's turned into a thing where there are a lot. I get to meet a lot of people, and it's a lot of fun, because I always do the check-ins, and that's one of the things I actually really enjoy. And guys who help run the match, they get mad at me, because they're like, "What the hell are you doing right here? Why are you doing check-ins? Anybody can check people in." I'm like, "Yeah, but I want to meet all the people showing up, and it's fun." And I've gotten to help out, like, I think my last count was like 80 different police agencies, including feds, including people from all over the place. We're having people from out of state come out to the match. This year we got people from Arizona, Idaho, California, Nevada. We have people from all over the place coming out to shoot this match, and it's turning into a really big thing, and it's an absolute blast. If you guys are anywhere in the Utah area and want to come shoot a fun match, come on out. It's the April 20th. The Nauticop match is still has some slots open. It's $80. You get a shirt. There's a small prize table. There are 12 stages that we're going to shoot at the Nauticop, and you find me anywhere else in the entire shooting sports that can give you 12 stages with all those things and awards and everything, and I'll give you a nice high five. But it's a hell of a bargain, and it's a hell of a fun match. So it's a great time. It's a great time.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like it. Yeah. It always, from every time I hear Robert talk about it, always sounds like a good time. Even though it's Robert saying it, we have to take everything he says with a grain of salt because he's left-handed.
Naturally.
Yeah. It's that lefty demon in him. But so you said you've been with this agency for 6 years.
Right.
How'd you get involved or roped into running the match?
So I just was one of the guys who came and shot the match, and the guy who ran the match was a friend, Jeremy, and he was doing a great job, absolute stud. And I had been shooting the match for a handful of years. I had won the match a handful of times, and I'd like to think that I was one of the, because at the time there were probably only about like 10 cops around that actually were actively competitors. Because you meet people who are like, oh yeah, I'm a competitive shooter, and you're like, okay, cool. Well, what was the last match you went to? You're like, where do you shoot at? Do you shoot at what club? And they're like, oh, I shoot at this range, and you're like, there aren't any USPSA or IDPA matches over there. Like, what do you compete in? And they're like, oh, stuff. And so there's a bunch of cops like that who just claim and are vague, but actual guys who are actually literally classified, competing in USPSA, who actually know how USPSA match runs, who I know everybody at the club. I don't want to say I'm a well-known figure there, but people know who I am. I've been around for a while. I help run matches, and that kind of just transferred over when Jeremy stepped down from running the match, and he basically said, hey, I need somebody to step up and start running these matches because I can't do it anymore. I volunteered and said, I'll stab myself in the stomach, and I guess I like kicking myself in the dick. So let's do this, bitch. And ever since then, it's so much fun, and it's so rewarding. But wow, every year from like February to April, it's just me 100% like working, trying to do match stuff, trying to get sponsors, trying to figure out shirts, trying to figure out good stages, trying to figure out all this stuff. And it's all money. And then again, I'm the only guy who runs it. And this is going to be, technically it's a 3-day match. Mm-hmm. We have to build it all. I mean, if any of you guys are match directors out there, you understand the amount of crap that goes into this. And then arguably this is a level 2 or level 3 match. Cause it started out as a state level match with about 100 people, and it's really blossomed into this absolute monstrosity of a match where we're going to have 14 squads with 14 people in each squad, and we're going to run the whole fucking thing in one day. And it's awesome. We start at 8 a.m. and we end at 4 p.m. and no one ever believes me that that's a thing we can do, but we've done it for like 4 or 5 years in a row. And part of the reason is because we do 3-gun scoring. Mm-hmm. So it's 1 in the alpha, 1 in the head box, or 2 anywhere on brown. It really makes reset fast. It really, really pushes that reset. We have this, the whole culture of the match is all about, I'm trying to get the guys to have fun. I'm trying to trick them to get training. Whenever somebody comes up to me and they'll talk to me about it, and they'll say, hey, what I'd like to make a stage for the cop match. Do you have any suggestions? I'm like, okay, well, each stage we want to use about 25 to 30 rounds. And the goal is I think we can all agree most cops are about a C class to maybe a high B class shooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most cops are in that region. We want the match to be fun for a C to a B class shooter. That is the goal of the match. The goal of the match is to make a normal officer who comes in off the street, rocking his duty gear, shoot the match and be like, God damn, this is a fun time. And then we want them to come to USPSA or IDPA or other matches in the future, because that's the whole goal. That's my purpose with these matches, is to get as much training as we can to these guys where they can actually find out what they don't know and actually start getting good teaching, getting good skills. We're actually learning how to move, shoot, and communicate. All those things really do apply in the competition world. And so that's the goal of the match. It's to be fun and to be a hose fest, essentially. For the higher end guys, it's just a question of how fast can you press that gas pedal. It is 100% speed. It is 100% go. And it is an absolute blast, because guys haven't really done that. I mean, most people don't do that. You shoot USPSA, you can't do 100% gas. You have to do that nice Goldilocks, 90, 95%, where you're going as fast as you can, but also you need to have a little bit, take your foot off the gas, hit here, attack these targets, slow down, not slow down, but necessarily go more in control to hit the next targets. This match is all about all gas, no brakes. And it is just fun, because when you get a good like A class, M class, GM level shooter out to these events, they absolutely rock it, and it's a lot of fun watching these guys go.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the nice thing, is that you are catering to your target audience, or target audience's skill level, which is nice. But then the guys at the top can still separate themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you shoot the match, do you typically, is there somebody in the cop match who is challenging you or pushing you?
Oh, yeah. My favorite thing actually from this match is that we have created a good, very competitive atmosphere with the top law enforcement trainers in the whole state. So you have guys coming out and like, dude used to think he was top shit, right? And then he comes out, shoots the mask, absolutely gets fucking stomped by all these random dudes. And then he starts practicing. He starts training, because most cops, honestly, are these type A guys, or they're fake type A's. But the real type A personalities, what's going to happen when you get beat? They're going to start working as hard as they can, because they don't like coming in that second or third or fifth or 10th or 20th place. So they really start driving forward. They really start trying to get better, and they start seeing like, what is this? What is this competition shit? Then they start looking up stuff. Unfortunately, a bunch of the stuff they find is from Lucas Botkin with T-Rex Arms. But a lot of the guys get introduced to very, very good shooters. And honestly, even T-Rex Arms, he's a fantastic fucking shooter, even if he's 100% a goober. But that's the whole goal. And then we are really created this competitive atmosphere. So the main division in the match, we have 3 divisions, technically 4 actually, but we have 4 divisions. Patrol, which is your patrol duty belt, your patrol gun. You're capped to 15 rounds, just because there's a lot of dudes rocking patrol guns that are still 40 Smith & Wesson. And so we want a little bit fairness there. So whatever your patrol gun, you need to have active duty retention, and then your actual duty belt, like no competition stuff in that division. The second division is patrol optics, which is the exact same thing as patrol, but now everybody's got slide ride optics. And then third is practical, which is basically limited optics. And fourth is open or sponsor or civilian category, where you guys can come up. Sponsors can come up, shoot the match, have fun. That's where a lot of the staff will shoot in there. But it's a good time. The interesting thing has actually been obviously when the match started, when I took over 5 years ago, the match was very much patrol heavy, because back then it was just patrol and practical, obviously. And then as time has gone on, everyone is in the patrol optics category. Every single good shooter, they're all in the patrol optics category. We have, I'd have to pull it up, but it's like 180 people are in patrol optics. Patrol has like 20 or 30. Practical has like 20 or 30. And then the sponsor category has about 20 or 30. So the patrol optics division is absolutely slog fest, and the guys just fight each other. And the top 20 guys, I think last year, were separated by like 10 seconds. So it gets very, very close, and it's a lot of fun because it's all about pushing the guys to become better, and that's the goal there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there are a lot of guys who push me too.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's nice because then there's people to push you, and instead of you're just able to walk away with it, right? Right. That's always the sad part. That's the cool thing about USPSA, right? Anyone at any day can be beaten because off days, but it's always nice to have someone to push you around and chase or be chased kind of mentality.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching another episode of Manny Talks Shooting. I greatly appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, please go patronize our sponsors here when you are available. We've got Hunters HD Gold, Go Fast Don't Suck, Outdoor Dynamics, Make Stuff Better, Range Panda, Southern Barbecue, Laugh and Load, Summit City Bullets, 2 Alpha Apparel, and Tom Castro Shoot Academy. Now let's get back to this episode. So, you said you had 180 shooters in practical optics. Is that because 90% of the agencies allow red dots in Utah?
Nowadays, pretty much everybody, if you know anything about shooting a gun and your agency isn't halfway ass backwards, you're going to have a red dot on a gun. And everybody pretty much in Utah now allows for red dot sights on their handguns, and everybody shoots that. And so it's good.
How long ago do you think was the change started to be made in Utah?
The change probably started about 5 years ago. My agency was probably one of the first to really push over to red dots, slide-mounted red dots. I actually took Sage Dynamics Patrol, what is it called? Red dot instructor course. And so that was really good. I won a black patch there, so that was fun. If any of you guys know what that is, but that was a good time. But it's been going and pushing forward ever since. Probably about 5 or 6 years ago was really when it just started, and now it's just become. It's just like USPSA. You have new cops who have never even shot a gun, basically, with irons. You have new people who are just showing up to the new shooters matches, and what do they have? They got a red dot on their gun. Everybody's has red dots on their guns. Nobody even shoots iron sights anymore, except for the guys in the background muttering 2 world wars. But I mean, it's everybody has red dots now, and it's great. And it's interesting because we get to see a lot of the ones that have issues with the ones that don't. And for the most part, everybody's rocking the Trijicon RMR. Those Holosun 509Ts are very, very popular. The enclosed red dots. You have some of the bougie bitches who get the Acros or the Steiner. Oh, what's the Steiner? RTS?
What, MPS?
MP? Yeah, MPS.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And so it's a lot of fun seeing the firearms community actually push forward and come out of the Stone Age, and everybody's doing it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's got to be cool. To see most if not all the agencies go into red dots. It's the way of the future. Eventually, they're just gonna aim themselves at people, right? They're just gonna pre-index. It's gonna be RoboCop on everything. Everything's got aim bots.
Yes, maybe. We'll see.
I can only wish, right? I can only wish for. I'm still waiting on the hover car, though. I mean, they said we would have had them by now.
Hover cars would be cool, but aimbot, there's pros and cons to aimbot.
Depends on if you are an enemy, a friend, or foe.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're watching Ukraine right now, and we're like, maybe I don't like drone warfare. That's fucking terrifying. The last minute of your life is, oh God, what is that? Boom, dead. It's nuts.
Yep, and that's why people get upset when they get their drone shot out of the sky and on the state side.
Right.
Darn kids and their freaking technology.
Well, and the funny thing, we're starting to actually use drones quite a bit in the SWAT side, where we have these new first-person view drones. I mean, we've always had robots and a lot of different types of those, but now we're having a whole lot of drone usage where we are flying drones into houses, or we'll break a window and then fly the drone into the house. And it's super cool because like you can fly a drone around inside the interior of a car, and it's crazy. And it's really interesting to see how it's changing the job, because we don't have to go in. We can just send the drone in, it buzzes at them, and then they'll run outside, or if we can see where they're at and they don't have anything, we can go inside. And it's definitely kind of like what you said. It's not what we expected of the future, but it's cool. Like it's cool and terrifying to be part of the police state.
Right. Well, it's another tool or asset in the job description, right? It's kind of like how they use canine officers, right? You know, flush people out. You use the dog, right? But now you can use the drone, which probably is a little more scary for people because they don't know what it's going to do.
Well, and that's the funny thing: the drones, we can't do anything with the drone. The drone will just look at you, and it doesn't have munitions or anything on there, but it just looks at you.
Yeah, I mean, the beanbag launcher would be pretty legit on a drone, I'm not going to lie.
That would be fun. We actually have a guy who he works at a fabrication company, and he was telling us, he's like, dude, I could make anything. I could print off anything, and these drones could carry anything, but the FAA won't let us. I'm like, well, that's terrifying. But thank you, I guess. All right, we'll see what happens in the future. If we need to do like Dallas and make our Wally the employee of the month and kill an active shooter with some C4, but we'll see. I don't know how well that would go if we killed some guy shooting at people with a bunch of bombs strapped to a drone.
Yeah, the image of that would not look good. But now all I'm thinking about is Wally holding a thing of C4. That's the next T-shirt. Wally with a thing of C4.
Oh, there were so many good memes about that employee of the month and good drone boy, and he killed that rat bastard who shot all the cops, and that was a good job blowing up a bad guy. But at the same time, I will acknowledge it's also terrifying that you're having a robot with a bomb go kill someone, and you're like, wait a second, is this the direction we want Earth to go?
Yeah. Well, we're already to the point where we don't want human interaction. No one answers their door anymore. Right. They just answer their doorbell and be like, what do you want?
Hello.
Bye, Jehovah's Witnesses. Wait, the true question is, do those actually show up locally? I'm really curious, because we'll get those, and we'll get Jehovah's Witness guys walking the streets in the summers. No,
not in Utah.
No.
The J-Dubs don't really have a presence here. Yeah. I lived in Texas for a while and Florida for a while, and we get J-Dubs over there every once in a while, but they pass out their Watchtower magazines. But Utah, no, we get other types of solicitors.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, where was I going to go with this? Oh, Lord, my brain spaced, but it's okay because it was probably a dirty, wrong idea that shouldn't have left my brain anyway.
You mean you don't want to talk crap on religions? That's probably a bad or a good idea.
I mean, yeah, this is kind of true, but it's always like... So, this here, I guess I want to go... So you're from, like the Salt Lake City area, correct?
I grew up in Texas, actually, but...
you're in Utah, so are you near Salt Lake City then?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you the only... So, have you ever ran into... Nothing fancy?
No.
Oh God.
I know he's around here, and I know that he has gone to some of the gun stores that I have gone to. But I've never met Nothing Fancy. I will say, actually, the one celebrity YouTuber from Utah was Grantham. I actually took a couple gun classes with him back in the day when he was in medical school, before he started any of this. And I was in a couple of his videos when he just started. There's a video of him getting tased in the snow, and I was there, and I was actually recording him. And there were a couple times where I got to meet him. I actually bought some of his Grand products from him, and he's a good guy. I like Mike a lot, but that's the only famous YouTuber I know.
Oh, that's okay. Well, at least it's one who's like actually like blown up and not like a crazy person. Like,
I know.
I don't know.
I haven't even watched any of Nut and Fancy's stuff recently. Once his videos got past like the 30-minute mark, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Stop.
We're talking about a watch.
Stop talking. Like, he's like, okay, guys, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a new acronym to talk about this, and let's see if this passes the knife check, and let's go from here. And you're just like, dude.
It's been so long.
Oh yeah, it's been forever.
My question is now I'm curious. When was the last video that he posted? I'm curious.
I'm sure he's still doing them.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah.
The Nut and Fancy project, that brings back old memories. That FPS Russia, good fucking times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Oh, he did post a video 4 days ago.
See?
It's a chest holster video. It's only 5 minutes long, though. So
ooh. Chest holster, 5 minutes? Stop.
Oh,
can only get so
it's okay.
excited.
The next 11 days ago is a 30-minute review of a SIG 10mm.
Ooh.
Now,
it's a SIG. It's spicy. That's it.
It could blow up.
Review.
It could blow up.
Would you like to beta test a firearm? Thanks. Welcome to SIG.
Welcome to... Oh, that's so true. Not going to lie. That's so true. So I guess... So you talked way earlier in the show about, you shoot Glocks for work. Mm-hmm. And you shoot, limited optic staccatos in competition. Is there a chance that your department will allow, 2011s?
We actually do. We allow staccatos. Mm-hmm. I carried a staccato at work for a little bit, and then I sold it.
Is this the one that you Dremel? The one that got Dremeled on?
No, that's not the one. I'm happy that you know about that, though. But hey, that was a damn good deal. I couldn't pass that up.
Do you still have it?
No, I sold it to a friend.
All right, yeah. Keeps the gun that keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing with those guns. Like I said before, I have an issue where I buy a gun, I'll be playing with it, I find out what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll keep it until somebody else is like, hey, do you know about anybody who wants this? Or, hey, somebody will mention something, I'm like, I'll sell it to you. And I just pass the gun on. And
so you're the guy who sells the guns to Tom and makes Tom buy the guns and then sells the guns.
Not Tom. Tom only buys $250 pieces of shit that I make fun of him constantly for. But no, I buy all sorts of bougie guns. Like I don't. I actually went over it the other day with somebody about how many different 2011s I've had, and it's like in like the 20s. It's just different variations and then different types, and I just buy this, try this out, buy this, try this out, buy this, try this out. Open gun, okay, we'll try this out. Well, what about this? We'll try this out. We'll try it a full tilt open gun. We'll do a custom build open gun. We'll do a metal grip open gun. We'll do a 40. We'll do this, and it's just all about trying to find that one final true Excalibur. And the next step is actually, I have a custom order going with a company called Tactical Steel Custom. He is a cop out of Kansas, I believe. But he makes good high-end 2011s. Some very, very good shooters recommended him to me. So I contacted him. And it's cool because it's a full tilt custom gun. Like I got to pick the slide serrations. I got to pick every single part on the gun. I got to pick literally every single thing on the gun. That is 100% a full custom gun with an optic plate, with everything, $3,500. That is entirely reasonable for a 2011 full custom. Whereas now most 2011s are in the $6,000 range for some reason.
And you don't even get to pick features.
Right.
And it just comes.
You don't get to pick anything. And so that was, I bought that, and hopefully that actually should be finishing up by the end of this month or the beginning of next. And we'll see how that goes. And then I also made a bad decision, and I just ordered a Voodoo Priest with the ported barrels in it. So it's going to be an open minor gun. But I got that as a fun gun, and I had a truck. I had a Toyota Tacoma and sold it and had some decent cash left over. And so this is my present from that. So it's great. It's great. It's fun. But going back to your original question about staccatos and duty, I actually had a staccato for my duty gun for a little bit, and then I sold it and got rid of it because honestly, I just don't think it's really worth it. Mm-hmm. And the biggest problem I actually have with staccatos is the duty holsters that are out there right now. Because in my opinion, one of the most important things about a gun is, for cops, it's all about the duty holster. Because if you don't have a good duty holster, the gun doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter if it's the coolest, most sexiest, bestest duty gun in the world. If your holster's shit, then it's doing fuck all for you. And that's kind of what I found out was the Glock Safariland holster, which is the 6354DO. It is the first holster that they came out with for red dots. And then they've come out with a bunch of new holsters since then. And the new holsters all suck. But that original holster is by far the best. And that's the one that I've used for duty for years. And it's on my SWAT belt. It's on my duty belt. It's on everything. And that holster is just so damn good that I realized, I'm like, it's not worth it to be able to shoot better when it takes me a quarter of a second to half a second longer to get the gun out. Because with a lot of this stuff, it's more about reaction time is very, very important. And so I said, you know what? I'd rather just stick with the Glocks for work, especially because I actually have to use a Glock for SWAT because they have stricter rules and you have to use the guns they issue you. So I have to use that gun for SWAT. And so I'm like, I'm not going to have two guns for work. I'm just going to have the one. And so I decided to dedicate just to Glock 17. And to be honest, it's really not that big of a deal. I think once you get up into that high A class, M class, GMs especially, if you give Kenny Terry a basic ass bitch Glock or a 2011, he's going to beat you regardless. If you give Niels Johannesson a Canik or a SIG P320, he's going to beat you. It doesn't matter. Sure, he might have a preference one way or the other, but if you have those good fundamentals, we actually talked about this quite a bit on the Paracast. It's just certain guns have a mechanical advantage. Like a 2011 has a mechanical advantage over a Glock. It just does. It's heavier. It's a single action. There are certain things that it just does better, but that doesn't mean it cannot perform at the same level. It just means you as a shooter have to work harder. A bigger gun is easier to shoot. It has a mechanical advantage over a smaller gun. But that doesn't mean you can't shoot a Glock 26 and still get a GM card. You can get it, but you just have to do it perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Tony Wong, one of John Batista's buddies, is a GM of the Glock 26.
Exactly. And he does that because he has that fundamentals down absolutely perfectly. And it's just the smaller and the less mechanical advantage a gun has, the more demanding it is of the holder, but it can still shoot just as good in my opinion.
So the question is, to basket weave or to not to basket weave?
Well, it depends. Are you a trooper or not? If you work for Utah Highway Patrol, you got to have a basket weave holster. If you got a bucket on your hat that has a straight across and you could be a extra in Super Troopers, then you better bet your ass you better have full leather. But if not, then nylon. Yeah.
There's so many. It's always a good time when you see the basket weave. Sometimes it's like, oh, cringe. But
it's always fun. You can tell a lot about a cop just by looking at their gear and looking at their general appearance, looking at anything. And I mean, there's a lot to be said. And there's actually classes about this for police officers, that it's all about, hey, if you look like lunch, you're going to get your shit stuffed in. But if you if you're fit, if you're take care of yourself, if you have your uniform well maintained, if you have your equipment well maintained, if you hold yourself, actually, you have your shit together, there is a much less likelihood of that guys will fight you versus if you are tiny or if you're fat or, if the bad guy thinks he can take you, he'll try to take you.
Yeah. Yeah. Be kind of like that gray man. Just look impressive and no one will fuck with you.
Well, and there's an absolute truth to that.
There is. So, Jared, when did you start teaching on your own?
So I've been teaching as a firearms instructor for cops for years now. And I've been helping them learn how to shoot better. And I've always been doing little clinics or little classes for guys. I started coming up with my own classes about 4 or 5 years ago. A lot of my changes in my life happened when I swapped agencies. And the new agency gave me a lot more latitude, and they were very open, and they allowed me to present classes like to the whole agency. And so it's been really good. And so I started developing these classes that this is the class that I would teach to every single cop out there if I could. And essentially what it comes down to is recoil control and recoil management, because almost every cop I know out there who isn't in the competition shooting sports is holding their grip wrong, is holding their gun incorrectly. And you see that time and time and time after time on those YouTube videos of the OISs where you have these guys who shoot, and you can see the recoils doing like this. And you're like, dude, what are you doing with your grip, bro? And so since I started making this class that I took a TPC, a Tactical Performance Center class with Ron Avery, Brian Nelson back in the day. And it was absolute gold. They showed me a lot of stuff I didn't know. And that was huge. That was a big turning point as well in my career. And since then, I've been trying to regurgitate their gospel as mine and helping others learn the way how to actually shoot. And so I've been doing that for years now. And I came up with a class where I taught it at my PD. I taught it to SWAT guys. I taught it to the shooting team, and I've kind of refined it. And then last year, I finally decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make my own shooting company and do a training company. It's called Waypoint Training for anybody of you who are listening and would like to learn more. I have an Instagram and a Facebook. It's just at Waypoint Training. No spaces, no underscores. And it's been a lot of fun. My main class is called Shoot Faster, because that's my whole thing, is I'm trying to help guys get better and help them learn that they can shoot fast. And the whole class is based on how you can learn how to actually shoot faster. Because there are so many people that just will go to the range, shoot 50, maybe 100 rounds, and they'll do fun stuff. They'll do drills from the internet, whatever, the Bear Solution drills or the T-Rex Arms drill or the Fast or, El Presidente. There's a million different variations. But the thing is if you're not actually using dedicated practice or actually like going a direction with those drills, they're not going to help you. They're not going to do anything for you. You need to actually have a direction. It's just like if anybody works out, you don't just go to the gym, meander around, and then pick up weights and be like, yeah, pick this one up. How many times am I going to pick this one up? I don't know. I'm going to pick it up until I feel good about it. I'm going to pick it up 5 times. Yeah, that's probably good. Then you're going to wander over here and go to the leg press and be like, yeah, I'm going to do this one. That's a lot of 45-pound weights. I feel good about myself. No, that's not going to help you. You need direction. You don't need coaching, but you need direction in your training. And the same thing applies to shooting sports. And so that's my main class. It's called Shoot Faster. I have a 4-hour version and then an 8-hour version, and it's all about learning how to shoot and shoot faster. And it's about, a lot of it's a mental game. A lot of it's about how to correctly practice. A lot of it's grip control and recoil control. But that's something I started last year, and it's been going well. I'm learning here in Utah, though, that during the winter months, nobody wants to go to the range and train. And that's fair because I don't really want to either. It's too damn cold. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of been on pause for a little bit because the last couple of classes I came up with, I had a couple people bite, but they were also like, dude, I don't know what the weather's going to be like. Like, that's why nobody's signing up. It might rain. It might snow. You know, nobody wants to go when it's 20 degrees outside. It's below freezing. So I'm like, that's fair. So I'll start teaching again, probably in March. I'll do some more classes, and I do about 1 or 2 classes a month. I'll do rifle stuff. I'll do handgun stuff, but it's all about trying to give direction and workshopping your own grip, workshopping your own stance, and trying to actually find out how you can shoot faster as opposed to how I shoot faster or how all these high-end people shoot faster. We want help to help you learn how to shoot faster. And so it's a lot of fun. So that's been an interesting new side quest. But it's actually kind of been fun because especially since we broke up with our title sponsor last year. So it's no longer the Utah Peace Officer Association match. It's the just Utah Law Enforcement match sponsored by Waypoint Training. So there we go. It's fun. We have shirts. If you like A10 Warthogs or if you like Halo Warthogs, I have shirts for sale if anybody's interested. I'll ship them out to wherever you want. Message me on Facebook or Instagram and you can get a cool shirt.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of Halo and Warthogs, did you actually, I'm assuming you played the games then?
Of course.
So which was the best game?
Reach.
Okay. That's an acceptable answer.
Halo Reach is fucking perfect. I love Halo Reach so much.
It's a pretty good game. I do have a soft spot for Halo 2. I do remember the hours of co-oping with my buddy playing that game, and this is when I first played this game. I was terrible at FPSs, and he had to always resurrect my ass and be like, I was like, oh god, this sucks. So there's always the good times.
Halo 2 and 3, I think, definitely have a certain place for a nostalgia standpoint, and they're beautiful. And like you, I spent many hours couch co-op with my older brother, and we beat Legendary. We beat all the games on Legendary. But just from a story, gameplay, I mean, Reach introduced Firefight. There are a lot of things that Reach, I think, does the best. I like the story of Reach the best. But from a gaming standpoint, like you said, I don't think anything will beat ever LAN parties at your friend's house.
Yes.
You got fucking 6 TVs up. Everybody's jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Not even just regular Mountain Dew. It's the Halo 3 Game Fuel Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
That you can't find anymore.
Oh, yeah. The good stuff. And that was honestly, that's some of the funnest things I've ever had was doing those LAN parties with Halo 1 and Halo 2. Halo 3 kind of got away from the LAN parties because Xbox Live really started to get going, which was fun. But god damn, Halo 1 and 2, Red versus Blue, the original. Oh, that was all wonderful time to be alive.
Yeah, people don't understand what the goodness that they missed.
Oh no, you just to have 16 people in one room all shit talking each other while you're killing each other, teabagging, and you kill somebody, then all of a sudden you'll get hit in the face with a pillow. And it's just, dude, Halo 2 was peak.
Or there's always the dickweed stealing your couch, and it's like, hey, that was my spot.
And then there's the screen watchers, and there's the screen looking, and it was, oh man, that was an absolute blast. And I wish we could do that sort of shit again, but nobody wants to leave their houses anymore. Everybody wants to just sit in their basement, in their mom's basement, in their underwear, and drink their Mountain Dew and fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
And I can understand that. I too, I don't have pants on right now.
I would be weirded out if you were wearing pants.
Naturally. Anytime you can be in a professional setting and not have pants on is a good time.
Oh, absolutely. It's 100% an absolute good time. Not gonna lie there. So you just kind of mentioned it, brought it back up. Waypoint Training is the title sponsor for the cop match and the not
Correct.
the cop match. What other sponsors have you been able to bring on board so far?
Oh, dude, we actually have a lot of people who help out. And a big part of that is once a company comes out to the match, they fall in love with it. Once a company comes out and finds out what we're doing, the vibe there, everybody's just hanging out. I'm literally like halfway through the day, I wander around and just throw fruit stacks at people. And it's just great. We're throwing monsters at people. We're just having a fun time. And that's one of the biggest things that I think USPSA and IDPA is missing right now. You want to have fun at these events. That's the point of these events. Yes, it's competitive. Yes, you want to go up and try to beat your friends. Yes, you want to beat, this super hyper competitive game where, we're so serious. I'm going to ask for an overlay on this swinger that I only shot once, but I missed, but I think I hit it. Mm-hmm. And once you get into this hyper competitive mode, it really doesn't start to be fun anymore. It kind of sucks the fun out of the game if you can't bullshit with your friends in the walkthrough, if you can't play music, or if you can't, joke around in the walkthrough section, and then also you're like, hey, there's not supposed to be any of that here. And you're like, oh, fuck off, you fun sucker. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the big things that I promote at the match. It's all about having a good time. It's about having fun. It's about getting training. And it really, I guess, vibes with a lot of companies that come out. Vortex is a huge sponsor. They are donating a lot. They're actually giving me 16 mini red dot sights. And when did you say this is going to get released later, right?
Yeah, well, this will be released on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's going to be after the media embargo. They're coming out with a new red dot actually this week. And they're giving me 16 of those. Actually, I think we changed it to 18. But they're giving me a shit ton of red dots. There's another company called S-Tac. S-Tac makes fantastic pouches.
The Kaiwai pouches.
Kiwi. The Kaiwai Kiwi.
Kiwi Kaiwai. I like to, I don't know.
We're just having fun. But S-Tac always comes out, and then they come out and they shoot it. And that was actually one of the best compliments I've ever received as a match director. The S-Tac guys frequently go to big matches. They go to area matches. They go to a bunch of different state matches. Like they go and they participate quite a bit in the sport. And the first time they actually came out to the match 2 years ago, they were blown away by how well the match was running, how fast it was moving. They're like, dude, when you said we were going to shoot 13 stages in one day, I called bullshit and I thought it was going to be a shit show. He's like, but we've been flying through. It's been an absolute blast. Everybody's been great. The ROs are great. The guys are great. We were worried about the cops flagging us, but all the cops have been great. Like, this has honestly been one of the best matches I have shot in years. And so that was a huge compliment coming from them because they actually go and they participate in these high level matches. So I was very happy about that. And so S-Tac's probably given me $30,000-$40,000 worth of stuff in the past couple years. Vortex is up there as well. Who are other division sponsors? Big Tex Outdoors, Mossberg, Springfield Armory, Glock. We have Silencer Co. We have Dead Air Suppressors, Hux Works, Tactical Performance Center. There's a company called Centrifuge Training. They donated 2 class spots, which is a lot of money. A company called US Duty Gear. Litton Custom Holsters. He's a local cop here, and he makes some of the best competition holsters out there. I mean, we have an absolute list of sponsors for the match, and it's been great. People have been very, very, very generous. And I don't know if that's just because they like donating to cops or if it's because I am lucky and charismatic. I don't know. My emails are always fun because I send official emails out and I say words like fuck and shit in them. And I joke around in my emails. And so I think, especially in the gun world, there are a lot of people who enjoy authenticity. because there's so much of this just corporate bullshit where people will say stuff and it's just nonsense words now, and no, it doesn't mean anything. And so being authentic and being just like, hey, what's up? We're looking for free shit. What are you going to get out of this? Probably fucking nothing. I don't know, man. If you want to give cops stuff, that'd be cool. If you don't, that's cool too. But whatever you want to do, I'm cool with. I'm just trying to trick these sons of bitches into getting training. And that's literally like verbatim my emails to these companies. And like, if you got an email like that from a cop, would you be like, hell yeah, I'm going to give that guy some free shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be legit.
Just so you get an email like that and you're like, all right, I'm about that. Let's do this. This sounds like a fun thing. And then they'll come out to the match and they'll be like, dude, this is a fucking fun time. You're like, goddamn right, it's a fun time. You will have fun or I will shoot you. So it's just an absolute blast. And we have returning sponsors for years and years and years. Our title sponsor, our main sponsor, actually, there's a company called Double Tap Ammunition. They are absolute studs, and they give probably $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 worth of ammo out every single year. And so they're absolutely fantastic. But there's a number of companies that all help out. And a lot of what I do actually is I'll find out local small businesses or local cop businesses. And then I just try to buy shit from them. And I'm like, all right, I have money from the match. I don't want to keep any of this money from the match. I try to put it all back into the match. So can I buy something from you? Like, what do you want to, like, let me buy something from you and I'll give it away at the match. Give it to me at a discount or give it to me full price. I don't care. It's up to you. And whatever works. So I just did a bunch of orders today, actually, from a variety of companies for the match. My wife hates it because our front living room at about February to March is just covered in cardboard boxes, just an absolute pile of cardboard boxes. Because we get about $40,000 to $50,000 in stuff donated in prizes. And so it's a good time.
I ran a match last year, like a big level 2 match, and yeah, the boxes pile up everywhere, and you're just like, where do I put it? It does.
It's running a match is definitely, it's an interesting thing, but you understand then when I say where it's painful and shooting these emails out and calling companies, and you're basically cold calling and asking for free shit, and it's never a fun time, and it's an absolute, it's rough. But it's also rewarding because once you get free stuff, you're like, yeah, I did it. And you can get excited, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's good.
Yeah, and it really is. The thing I've been liking is like, if I know like a shooter who's sponsored by a company, I'll be like, who's your guy I need to talk to at this company to actually get a freaking answer? Because I hate sending an email or something to like the random inbox. I'm like, hopefully someone reads this.
Right. And you're just going to go into the trash folder and nobody's going to read it because that they're getting hundreds, if not thousands of requests from USPSA and IDPA and 3-Gun and Steel Challenge and PRS and 22 League and every single thing in the world that everybody's asking, hey, can we have some free shit? What's the ROI? There's nothing. People are going to take your shit and sell it on Brian Enos as soon as they get it. Like, I don't.
Yeah. They're going to sell that cert for cash money at the match.
Right. And that's the thing. And that's actually one thing I don't want to have happen. So most of the sponsors actually for the match are stuff where it's like, it's good for cops. It's good for you. It's stuff I want. That's how I build out. I basically build the whole match out for stuff I want. What do I want to do? What do I think is fun? What is equipment that I need? Well, I think a shooting mat would be cool. Like, I think that would be a useful thing to have. So I'll buy 18 shooting mats, and then I'll have those because I do mini prize tables. I don't do a big prize table at the end. It's too chaotic. So I'll do these mini prize tables where each squad gets a randomized prize table. And so I'll buy every single prize table a shooting mat. Or I'll buy every single prize table some high-end gloves. That's one thing that I ordered today from SKD Tactical. They gave me a nice discount code. They have these, they're called PIG gloves, and they're the best gloves out there. And
Doesn't Chuck Pressburg use those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chuck Pressburg. I like Chuck a lot. he did a collab with Pig, and his gloves were actually great. But there's just all these companies that I'll say, well, what would I like to actually get? What would I like to have as a prize? And then I find those things and then I buy them and then I put them on the prize table, and it's fun. And so our prize table is great. And that's one thing that also brings the cops back every single year. It's a lot of fun actually watching these guys, because you'll have like one shooter, let's say from a random city. Let's say Salt Lake City. One shooter will come from Salt Lake City PD, and he'll come out, have fun. Next year, 2 shooters or 3 shooters or 4 shooters will come out from Salt Lake City PD. Then the next year, 10 or 12 or 15. And that's how it happens every single year, is because somebody will come out and be like, dude, this is fucking fun. And they'll take videos, they'll show their buddies, and they're like, dude, check this out. This is a great time. Especially now with the advent of Instagram and all the social media. Everybody is being kind of introduced to competition shooting with USPSA, with John Wick, with Taron Butler and his harem. You have all this stuff that's introducing the world at large to competition shooting. And so when people go and they talk about it, they'll be, hey, what's this match? And it's this. It's kind of like that shit you see, that training video that Keanu Reeves did. It's like that, but you get to do it, and it's cool, and you get to do this, and then you get to win a free shit. I won a suppressor last year. I won a shotgun. I won a pistol. And the guys are like, that's awesome. How much does it cost? The cop match actually only costs $65. So it's running bare bones. But that's cheap as hell for a match of that size. And so the not a cop match, I kind of use it as a fundraiser for the cop match, where it still has a prize table. And I feel bad saying this, but it's kind of like the sloppy seconds. It's the leftovers from the cop match. I'll take some high-end items and put them on the side for the not a cop match. But the whole point of that match is to get more money for the cop match, so I can buy more shit for them and try to support that. And it's a fun way of doing it, and it's been successful so far. So it's a lot, but it's a fun a lot.
Right. Yeah. And then when the match is over, you're like, I'm not doing that again. And then you get suckered into being like, I'm doing it again.
Right. When you had a kid for the first time and you're like, this is magical. And then that first year or two, you're like, fuck this shit. I hate babies. This is a terrible idea. I'm never going to have another kid. Then once they get to be like 2 or 3, you're like, you forget the absolute hell that your life was. Then you're like, maybe we could have another kid. Yeah, I think we should have another kid. That'd be great. And then you have another kid and you're like, God damn it, this sucks again.
Yes, absolutely.
Match directing is 100% that.
And it's okay. You go through that postpartum depression with matches too, right? You're like, I don't know what to do with my time now. I'm like, I have free time again. What do I do?
You get the depression, but none of the post-nut clarity. It's too bad.
Right? Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't at least mention Dark Angel Medical, though. Like, that would be something cool.
They have never... I actually haven't ever talked to them, but I probably should. That would be a good medical company.
Yeah, the only reason this is actually in my office is because I had to clean out my car because somebody rear-ended me on Friday.
Nice.
So I'm getting my car ready to go into the body shop or get totaled. I don't know yet.
Let's find out.
Right, so I pulled my visor. This is actually a headrest like med kit that. Sorry, audio listeners, you don't get the cool shit. So this goes around the headrest and then this sticks to it. So.
No, Dark Angel Medical, I've always heard good things about them. I probably should reach out to them. They'd be a good sponsor. If anyone listening is interested in donating or wanting to sponsor the match, feel free to, again, reach out to me on Instagram or on Facebook, Waypoint Training. I'm happy to get info out. And that's the thing. Like, I'll talk to these companies and they'll be like, okay, what's my return on investment? I'm like, I'm going to be honest, dude. You get 2 things from this match. If you would like to, you can have a lot of FaceTime with all the movers of departments all over Utah. If that is something that you would be interested in, like if you're interested in trying to talk to all the guys who do the training and the firearms instructors and the training guys for all these different police departments in the state of Utah, yeah, it's a huge actually return of investment, and it's well worth it for you. But if you're not interested in that, it's like, dude, really? Yeah, you can feel better about yourself. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel better about that thin blue line Punisher skull on the back of your F-150. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, dude, you're giving away shit, and people probably won't say even thank you. Dude, people don't even say thank you to me, and I run the whole thing. And so it's like, if you want to give away stuff, that'd be great. If you don't, that's cool too. We actually have a medical company that's sponsoring this year, and they're giving a lot of stuff. But have you ever heard of Flux Defense?
Yeah, like with the Flux Raider, like the thing that you can turn your, okay.
So the Flux Raider. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think of the Flux Raider? And tell me your honest opinion.
I mean, it's a cool little, like, I would find it as like a cool, like, range toy.
Right?
But it's not a bad system, especially now that you can actually like you can do a bunch of cool shit with it.
Okay. So what I interpret that as is it's a toy. It's kind of stupid, but if you're into that, good for you. Right?
Well, I mean, yeah. But if you think, okay, now I will defend myself just for a quick second. I am a competitor, not a gun guy.
Okay, that's 100% fair. 100% fair. Now, that is the exact same thing I thought. Because everybody sees these and you're like, another chassis? That's fucking gay. But you're just like, it is what it is, right? But once you actually get one in hand and you play with it, you're like, dude, this is actually pretty slick. This is a slick setup. I bought one, and it's actually the home defense gun for the wife, because that was a long journey trying to find a gun. She's very small. She's 5'2", small arms. She's a T-Rex, basically. And she doesn't have a lot of muscle. She doesn't want to shoot an AR. So we went through the whole gamut of 9mm PCCs, and we had an AR-9 that was what was that? It was a delayed radial blowback, the CMMG Banshee. So that was her home defense gun. But it was still really heavy, and honestly, it's a really big gun when you think about it. It's an AR.
Right.
But this Raider is tiny, and it fits her perfectly where she can actually shoot it really well. She's very comfortable shooting it. It shoots really easily. It shoots really smoothly. I have a suppressor mounted on it, and it's an absolute great gun. And it's a slick setup, and honestly, I think it would do really well for undercover assignments, or if you want to do a PCC in your backpack, or any of those things. Like it's absolutely phenomenal in those settings. But I didn't know that until I actually played with it. Once I played with one of those Flux Raiders, I was like, this is a fucking tits, man. This is a fantastic setup. Like this is exactly what I've been looking for out of a submachine gun, but I didn't know it. And so they're really cool guns. And I've shot MP7s, MP5s, and pretty much everything. And that Flux Raider is honestly my favorite submachine gun, small based pistol caliber rifle, essentially platform. But they're one of the sponsors for the match, and they actually have a sister company called Stapp Systems, and they make everyday carry tourniquets that are really, really slick. They're about half the size of a cat T, those cats that you had on that Dark Angel. Like that's about what all tourniquets are, about that size. You can get some other one like the Rats or the SWAT T. There's a lot of different options, but they're all pretty big. So this company, Stapp Systems, they came out with the ETQ, which is the Everyday Carry Tourniquet, and it's very slim. It's very like you can actually carry this. You can have it in your pocket. It's not a problem. So they're donating a bunch of those to the match, and they're going to come out and have like a little demo bay and stuff. But those everyday carry tourniquets are snazzy as hell. So if anybody's interested in medical supplies, check them out as well. They're a big sponsor of the match. Like I said, there are so many damn sponsors for this match. I think I'm in like 25, 30 sponsors. And so we have a ton of stuff that I can't even list it all. But Stapp and Flux Defense are two very, very good people. And they always help out.
Well, and it's really cool. I just pulled it up on their website, and the thing is legitimately half the size of a regular tourniquet. That is like Like you could live that in your like cargo pocket and not give a crap.
Absolutely. Like I carry it often just in my front left pocket, and it's the same size as like a flashlight that I normally carry,
or a burner phone.
Right. It's smaller than your iPhone. And so it's a very slick setup. I highly recommend, especially for those of us in the shooting sports. Honestly, a tourniquet is not a bad idea to have on you. Have a little bit of knowledge. TCCC it's really simple. If you get shot in an extremity, your arm or your leg, you tourniquet at as high as you can go. It's as simple as that. If you get shot in the body, you want to cover up, or the thoracic cavity, really, cover up any holes so they don't have a sucking chest room and get tension pneumothorax. Or if it's a junctional tourniquet, junctional wound, those are the bad ones. If it's hips, shoulders, those can get nasty, and that's the one where you really want to put a lot of pressure into it. Those are the hard ones. And if it's in the head, you're either dead or you're not. So it's really, medical stuff is really straightforward, but having those tourniquets on you really do solve the majority of firearms related incidents. Cause I've been on the range, unfortunately, for some firearms related injuries, and most of the time it's always in extremities, hands, arms, legs, and a tourniquet fixes that super easy.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm one of those weird guys you see on the range carrying around a Zuka cart, like my little disc golf cart.
Attaboy.
But I drilled holes into the lid on the sides, but and I attached a QLS system and attached a Dark Angel med kit to it.
There you go.
So the simple enough is I predisposed the QLS system, so it's like you just got to yank and it's gonna come. But yeah, I'm like, every time I squad with new people, I'm like, if something happens, I don't care, we're gonna be safe. But if something happens, you grab the red bag on the side of this cart.
Bring it over here. We'll get it taken care of.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've had a friend, heaven forbid, rest. She doesn't shoot anymore, but she had an accidental discharge into her leg, and the closest med kit was 100 yards away in either someone's car or the clubhouse. So,
right. And that's a big issue, is when, like, our range, we have med kits staged throughout the range, and it's great. It's a fantastic option, but realistically, I mean, it could be 50 yards away. It could be 100, or it could be, from certain parts of the range, it's 200 yards away. And that's a long time to be bleeding out. You lose useful consciousness about 30 seconds after arterial hit, and you can really die quick. But if you actually do a good tourniquet, you're just fine. And it's insane how much the war in Iraq has taught us about tactical combat casualty care. But
TCCC.
Those ETQs, the snake staff tourniquets, are fucking snazzy. So go buy one.
I'm actually going to go look at those right now. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, they really are cool. Check them out.
Yeah. So Jared, dude, I want to thank you for your time tonight. This has been a blast. If people still want to get in the match, it's in April. You said the cop match is, well, they're not a cop. Yeah, 420. That's a great day to have a match, because all the cops are in one spot. So everyone, if you want to be hooligans, that's the day to go do it, right?
Yeah. General shenanigans are accepted. And if you have one of the cop shirts on, everybody will be like, oh, do you shoot this match? And maybe they'll be nice to you. Who knows? We'll see.
Right. So yes. So go sign up. There's still spots for the not a cop match, as you said. Go check it out. If your company, hit up Jared. But where's the best place for people to hit you up at?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Again, it's just at Waypoint Training. You'll see some pictures of warthogs and A10s, and you'll see videos of me spazzing out, running around shooting. It's a good time. Message me on there. Again, I just did an order of shirts, so I have a bunch of cool shirts that are the actual nice next level shirts that are comfy. And I have some different designs on there. So if you're interested in buying a shirt, I'm selling those. If you're interested in just hanging out, message me, whatever. If you have questions about guns, if you have questions about cop shit, feel free. talk, and I'm happy to help out as much as I can. The big thing for me is I'm just trying to help the shooting community get better and advance police tactics out of the goddamn 1980s, because I'm so sick and tired of being taught by these old guys who don't know a goddamn thing about actual shooting. So that's my whole shtick.
Yeah, we appreciate what you do, bringing up those cops, tricking them into train, going out there, teaching a lot of people how to get faster and get better and be more proficient and efficient. We always also do appreciate your humor when you're on the Paracast. But Jared, thank you again, brother, for your time tonight. And this is going to be a great one. I think everyone's going to enjoy it. So
great.
So to the listeners, get out and do the things. I'll see you on the next one.